After 4 years of horrible Biden policy, the American people finally get to see what a secure border actually looks like. Ever since Donald Trump came into office just 1 week ago, mind you, border encounters have dropped to virtually nothing. Illegal border crossings have dropped to virtually nothing. And of course, military aircraft are being used in the aid of deporting criminal illegals that are being rounded up by Tom Homan and his ICE agency. But of course, the left, they still don't quite grasp what Donald Trump is willing to do in order to solve this horrible situation. So what we're going to see today, of course, are the leftist talking heads completely melting down at the prospect that, yes, Donald Trump is doing exactly what he said he would. But before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
We got military on the border, not only helping us with departure flights on military planes, but they're helping to build infrastructure. They're putting up Constantino wire. They're down there to create a secure border and lock that border down. And DOD's helped administrations before, but not at this level. So it's a force multiplier, and it's sending a strong signal to the world. Our border's closed.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population. So we're going to do this on priority base, as President Trump's promised, but as that aperture opens, there'll be more arrests nationwide.
When you talk about the aperture opening, the estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally, who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge, should leave.
While you are emphasizing that you go after national security threats, you have said no one's off the table. If you're in the country illegally, you better be looking over your shoulder. You should be afraid and start packing now. Is that what you're doing to get hotel workers out, or people working on farms, that they'll be so scared they just leave?
Look, I think if you're in the country illegally, it's not okay. It's not okay to violate laws of this country. We have millions of people standing in line, taking the test, doing their background investigation, paying the fees, that want to come in the right way.
So Martha Raddatz right there sounds completely shocked. Are these deportations going to continue every single day? Yes, they are. And after you've deported all of the criminal illegals, right, are you going to go after the other people? Yes, because they're all criminals for violating the laws of this country, right? We have the high priority criminals, the violent criminals, the possible terrorists, right? Those are the people we're getting rid of first. And then we're going to go after everybody else, because guess what? We have this huge line, this huge backlog of people who want to come in the right way, who are getting their background checks, who are paying the fees and going through the proper processing and vetting, right? Those are the folks we want into this country, not the people who just willy-nilly come across the border, hoping to take advantage of our American social system and our prosperity. We want the people who will follow the rule of law. Those are the only folks we should allow in, and everyone else is fair game as far as I'm concerned. But of course, the leftist talking heads still don't seem to get it.
When you talked to us in August, you said, I don't think we should abandon anybody who's been properly vetted and helped us. Do you stand by that?
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals have been properly vetted.
But there are 30,000 people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary concern as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that we know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people are vetted.
Good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
So there's Vice President J.D. Vance, and by the way, it feels really good to say that, putting the smackdown on CBS's Margaret Brennan, okay? And what the leftists don't understand, what Margaret Brennan doesn't understand is we want to do background checks. We want to vet every single person that is coming into this country. That's why we have immigration law in the first place, okay? We're not going to open up the borders and allow anyone to come in. But she says, oh, these people were already vetted. Yeah, under Joe Biden, when you're allowing in millions upon millions of people, you can't properly vet all of them, right? Can't even come close. And as was pointed out right there, yeah, remember that guy that was supposedly vetted who came in and tried to plan a terror attack, but luckily we were able to stop him? Oh, he was not properly vetted, right? He's the type of person we're trying to stop. But Margaret Brennan, oh, he could have been radicalized after he got here. Sure, yeah, somebody who was working with our military over in Afghanistan and was brought in out of the kindness of our heart after the fall of Afghanistan, that Joe Biden caused, by the way. Now he's radicalized once he gets here to this nation. I don't think so, okay? We have the rule of law. We're going to follow it to keep America safe. And as J.D. Vance put, to keep his children safe. We wouldn't want these people living next door to us if we don't know who they are. And we're not going to subject the rest of the American citizens to this horrible situation either, unlike the Democrats. Remember when Republicans started shipping illegals up to Martha's Vineyard? And then what happened right away? In 2 days, they were all gone because those rich leftist elites didn't want them in their neighborhoods. But they're more than happy to stick them in the suburbs or the low-income housing in Chicago, in New York, in California. They don't care about that whatsoever, okay? But unlike the Democrats, we actually have standards we want everyone to live by. Hence, the rule of law that we are following, whether the leftists want to agree with it or not. But guess what? The American people also think this is the right thing to be doing, and guess who they trust?
I just want to know how different things are from where we were when Donald Trump first took office, and how much more the American people are on the side of Republicans than they were 8 years ago. So trust which party more on immigration. You go back to April of 2017. Look at this. The Democrats held an 11-point advantage over Republicans. So Americans were not liking what Donald Trump and the Republican Party was doing back at the beginning of his first term. Look at where they are now, though. Poll out just in the last week, after Donald Trump took office, which party you trust more in immigration? Look at the margin Republicans are putting up here. A 22-point lead over Democrats. You rarely see issues in which the American people side so much with one party over the other. But on the main issue that Donald Trump has been pumping up and Republicans have been pumping up since the beginning of his term, that began just 1 week ago, Republicans lead overwhelmingly on this. It's not just unusual for right now. It's just so much different than where we were 8 years ago. It just gives the Republicans a lot more leverage.
And also, how are you measuring the boost, or how much voters, Americans, are liking, or what they're thinking about Donald Trump and what he's doing now versus Biden?
Yeah, you know, we always talk about this right direction, wrong direction, right track, wrong track number, right? And normally, you know, you might expect the right direction, right track number to be really, really low. And on immigration, what track is the U.S. on? You go back last month, just 14% of Americans thought we were on the right track, according to Ipsos Reuters. Look at that. The wrong track was 62%. Look how much the right percentage is up this month since Donald Trump took office. It's up 23 points to 37%, pretty much right next to that wrong track number at 42%. Still slightly more Americans saying we're on the wrong track than the right track, but the right track number has gone through the roof, up to 37%, a 23-point jump since Donald Trump took office. So the bottom line is this. Many more Americans are saying that the country is on the right track right now. They're liking a lot more of what we're doing on immigration than just a month ago in the Joe Biden administration. They're liking a lot more what Republicans and what Donald Trump are doing than what they thought of what Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing.
So there you have it. The American people are on the side of Donald Trump when it comes to the subject of immigration. And even though that right track, wrong track question is there and it's present, and we're still kind of underwater on that, don't forget last week, as I reported, the majority of Americans want every single illegal immigrant deported, whether they are a violent criminal or not, right? We want them all gone because we're fed up with this whole situation. And of course, as I mentioned at that point in time, why in the world have the numbers switched? Why has it changed so much from 2016 to 2025? What in the world happened? Oh, it's because Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis decided to make illegal immigration America's problem by, of course, shipping them out all over the country to blue cities, to blue states, so they can have a little taste of what's been happening on the border for years. Okay, and that, of course, is something the American people did not like. And that's also one of the big issues that Biden had, of him actually flying people into the interior of the country for his 4 years while in office. And everybody got so sick and tired of it that, yes, they turned against the Democrats, they turned against Joe Biden, and they turned against these open border's weak policies, and we have returned to the rule of law. But that's not going to stop Selena Gomez from crying about it.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
Oh, the children. Donald Trump is going after the children. I don't understand. I wish I could help more. Nobody cares about your celebrity hurt feelings. What we care about is getting rid of the criminal element and anyone who's breaking our laws. It's over. It's done. The bleeding heart age is finished, and we just lick up your tears as if it's manna from heaven. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.